Hey, welcome to our episode of Chad's Beer Reviews. Continuing with the BJCP style guidelines, we're on style 7C, which has its own styles within the style. One is called Pale Keller Beer, and the other one's called Amber Keller Beer. I could not find a Pale Keller Beer for the life of me, not in Central Florida. So I got an Amber Keller Beer. This is Kulmbacher Mönchshof Keller Beer. I assume that means monks something. Keller Beer means cellar beer. I got it at Mr. Dunderbox in Tampa, that German brew house I was telling you about $6 for this 500 ml bottle. Anyways, Keller beer is really interesting style because there's two different, like there's the pale and there's the amber, and they're basically, the pale is like an amber, or the pale is like a really young Munich Helles that hasn't completely finished fermenting and lagering yet, and the amber is basically a Marzen. Same thing. In fact, let's go over this overall impression here real quick. A young, unfiltered, and unpasteurized beer that is between a Helles and Marzen in color. Spicier in the hops with greater attenuation. Interpretations range in color and balance, but remain in drinkable 4.8% ABV neighborhood. I believe this one is 5.4. Balance ranges from the dry, spicy, and pale color interpretations by St. Georgen and Lowenbrau of Butenheim to darker, maltier interpretations of Franziskaner. I don't know. The style is above all a method of producing simple, drinkable beers for neighbors out of local ingredients to be served fresh. Balance with a focus on drinkability and digestibility is important. And if we look at the comments, history, characters, ingredients, all that stuff, they make a point of saying that bottled versions are not likely to have the freshness, hop character, and young beer notes exhibited by draft versions. Yeah, no kidding. I mean, any time a beer comes here from Europe, it's already old. If you look at the history, I mean, it's just basically like a tavern, thing. Style comparisons. Most commonly, this style is a young, unfiltered, unpasteurized, hoppier version of Munich Helles or Marzen. And we look at the vitals. 25 to 40 IBUs, not too bitter. 7 to 17 SRM, so pretty light. Commercial examples, all that stuff. So, let's go get this in the glass, and we'll get to drinking. All right, I'm back. So I got the Keller beer in the glass here. Gotta say, I was really surprised how much fun was in there. Thought this was an old bottle. In fact, it actually overflowed a little, but cleaned it up nice for the camera. Anyways, let's get straight to the aroma here. So, surprisingly, not a lemon lollipop sherry bomb or anything like that. I figured it'd be super old, but yeah, plenty of brown malt. Just kind of smells like a brown German lager. Um, it has, I mean, it's malty, but it's not particularly sweet. And there is a little bit of a floral. I would not call it spicy. It's kind of like a floral, just kind of a general earthy kind of hoppy in there. It's quite low. Um, there's a like, tiny little bit of fruity character in there, but I mean, it's not a super aromatic nose, but it doesn't smell bad at all. It smells. I mean, it's essentially a young Marzen, so it kind of smells like that. There's nothing roasty on it. Yeah, so it's kind of like a kind of a bready kind of malt, but it's not super rich like a Bach or anything like that. Let's check the specs. Aroma: moderate intensity of German malt, typically rich, bready, somewhat toasty with light bread crust notes. Sort of. Moderately low to moderately spicy, peppery hop aroma. Like I said, I would not say it's peppery. It's more floral. Very low to low diacetyl, occasionally low to moderately low sulfur, and very low green apple or other yeast-derived notes. Caramel, biscuity, or roasted malt aroma is inappropriate. Yeah, like I said, it's not sweet smelling. They mentioned like the bread things. It's not as you know super specific as bread crust. It's just kind of bready. And I mean, they mentioned spicy, peppery. I don't think so. No, and they mentioned like this because it's such a young lager, it can have diacetyl and acetaldehyde and be okay as long as it's really low. Maybe that's what that fruity fruity character is. It's just like a little bit of acetaldehyde. Yeah, but it smells pretty good. I don't think that like the hops are right, and it's not as bready as they're leading me to believe as on the specs there. I'm gonna say 9 for appearance. Well, it's a pretty beer. I don't know what this looks like on camera, but it's just kind of like in that weird realm between amber and copper. Hold up to the sunlight. Yeah, it's definitely more of a copper. It's slightly hazy. That's okay. I mean, it says right on the bottle, unfiltered. I'm gonna say I'll say 9 to 13 SRM. A nice big frothy head on there. Let's check the specs for the style. Appearance: moderately cloudy to clear depending on age, but never extremely cloudy or murky. True. Gold to deep reddish amber color. True. Off-white creamy head. When served on cask, can have low carbonation, very low head. Whoa. Obviously this is on bottle, not cask. I'm going to go the full 3 out of 3 on appearance here. Flavor. Let's get to drinking. Cheers. I'm surprised. That's a lot fruitier than I was expecting. And this isn't the second I'm saying this is the second Keller beer I've reviewed in the last 24 hours. I did a text review of another one last night. So, yeah, this one is a lot more fruity than the one I did yesterday. It does have that kind of brown, continental malt flavor in there. So it's malty. It's kind of bready. It's not super rich bready. Nothing toasty. So it has a little bit of fruity character. I would not call it green apple. I don't get any butter. I know diacetyl is okay for this style. Whatever sweetness is in there is just coming from the natural malt. Otherwise, pretty clean lager fermentation. I think whatever hops were in there are faded pretty well at this point. It's just really, really faint, earthy, maybe slightly peppery or spicy hops. Just kind of like a really low, dry bitterness. That's pretty much all I gotta say about flavor. Let's check the specs here. Flavor. Initial malt flavor may suggest sweetness, but finishes moderately dry to dry and slightly bitter. I would say it's clean. Yeah, and dry. Not like astringent dry, but slightly bitter. No, it's a very clean, even finish. Distinctive and complex maltiness often includes bready, toasty aspect. Yeah, sort of. Hop bitterness is moderate to moderately high, and spicy or herbal hop flavors low to moderately high. I put the bitterness, pretty low on here, and the flavor pretty low too. Balance can be either on the malt or hop side, but the finish is not sweet. That's true. I mean, it's certainly more malty than hoppy, but not a huge malt presence in there. Noticeable caramel or roasted malt flavors are inappropriate. Doesn't have any of that. Very low to low diacetyl. I did not get any butter on here. Possible very low green apple or other yeast to wrap notes. Smooth, malty aftertaste. True. So, it's there, but I think this is it's gotta be an old bottle. So a lot of the stuff has just dropped. I will say in its defense, it is not super oxidized. Like usually I get that right away, but who knows how old this is? Maybe just the style is just really, repellent against oxidation. So for flavor, I don't know. I think it's better than the one I had last night. I'll go 15 out of 20. Mouthfeel. Put about a medium body, moderately low carbonation, very smooth. I don't get any slickness on it. Very clean aftertaste. It's a little refreshing while it's in the mouth too. I think it's 5.4 ABV. It doesn't feel like a 5.4. It feels like a 4.4. So very sessionable. I would not have any problems, do an entire half liter of this. So, which is kind of the whole point of the style. Let's check the specs. Mouthfeel, medium body with a creamy texture and medium carbonation. Yeah, I don't know. It's creamy. When I think creamy, I think like oatmeal stout, but yeah, it's smooth texture, medium carbonation. Yeah, fully fermented without a sweet or cloying impression. I don't know if they put that in mouthfeel and not under flavor, but yeah, pretty much right there. I'll go 4 out of 5 on mouthfeel. It's not perfect, but it's pretty good. Overall, I'm gonna say 8 out of 10. It's from what I can gather. It's listed as one of the commercial examples, so it's got to be. It's representing the style. It's just an old bottle. So total score 39 out of 50 for the Kulmbacher Mönchshof Kellerbier. All right, so that's all I got to say about this beer. Thanks for watching. I will see you next time. Prost.
Somebody brewed it, Chad just reviewed it. Thanks for watching Chad's Beer Reviews. Trust me, the next episode will be a lot better.